What a good place to be. Don't believe it, 'cause you speak a different language and it's never happened to me. Don't believe it, oh no, 'cause it's never happened to me. No, it's another night out with a bus, following in footsteps overgrown by mass, and he tells me good women go on trees.
The Housemartins were a pop band from Hull in England, in fact, famously from Hull, who existed from 1983 to 1988. They released two albums during that time. They gained a strong following, particularly from people who liked their more real sound than a lot of the produced pop that was around at the time, and of their thoughtful and sometimes clever lyrics. They were retrospectively labelled as jangle-pop. Two of the members of the Housemartins went on after that to create a band, Beautiful South, which more or less carried on the same approach and legacy of style of music, a few kind of changes to that. And then another of the members went on to become Fatboy Slim, a well-respected electronic artist. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is my review of the album Hull Zero, London Zero, Hull 4, get it the right way around, Dan, by the Housemartins, which was released in 1986 and was their first album, and it's my first time listening to it. So the title of this album comes from a newspaper headline that was run after the Hull's football club had beaten four London clubs in the FA Cup. Which was quite something. Hull is not a huge city. London obviously is a huge city. And the Housemartins were very proudly Hull and very proudly Northern. Hull is a city in Yorkshire on the coast. And its full name is Kingston upon the Hull. And I used to live not a huge distance from there. So it has been described as jangle pop. And I think, listening to it in retrospect of now having encountered this term, I kind of go, yeah, okay, I get that. And this is down to the kind of jangly guitar sound that's being used. It's pop rock with an almost skiffle feel, kind of skiffle shuffly feel. It's got this jangly guitar. Quite a lot of the tracks have got a kind of 2/4 fastish drums feel to it, and sometimes quite a mobile bass, so kind of moving about quite a lot, not just hitting the root notes. So the whole feel is a bit kind of a little bit energetic and frantic, but not abrasive in a punky kind of way. So fast upbeat songs, simple musically with strong vocals and strong harmonies. So Paul Heaton has a distinctive voice, which ties together the Housemartins and the Beautiful South that he sang for after this. It's quite a strong voice, and it's quite a cheerful voice, which I guess is nice. Not all of the lyrics are as upbeat as the music sounds, but the general feel is a bit kind of party-like. It kind of reminds me of. I kept feeling like it reminded me of Young at Heart by can't remember who, or the Friends theme. I'll Be There for You. It's that kind of upbeat, guitar-y based pop ish. Yeah, some of it is kind of political stuff. So they're definitely left-wing politics. Some of it is exploring Christianity. In fact, there's a nice a cappella version of People Get Ready on this album. And occasionally I think about, I wonder what song is going to be the song that I have no way of really working this out. What song is going to appear most times on this list of 3,000 albums that I'm going through? People Get Ready, I'm starting to feel could be a candidate for this, because there's been a few versions of that that I've heard now going through the list. Back to this album. My son heard some of this, and he said this sounds really generic, he said, which gave me an interesting thought on this. And I think that maybe looking back on that from now, so this is 1986, we're nearly 40 years on from that. at the point of recording this. So maybe looking back in that kind of time, that is true. At the time, I feel like they weren't generic. They were a breath of fresh air, and maybe it's just this has become a model for upbeat pop rock to come. And I can certainly kind of trace through the years people like Sixpence None the Richer and yeah, and whoever it was who did In 5 Years' Time, and there's this kind of upbeat, almost folky, jangly kind of pop thing that's had been a theme, and maybe that's what he means, or maybe that's how he got that feeling from it. I feel like my memories of them at this point in time was that actually they were quite a different sound from other stuff that had been around. However, I'm going to reference Dex's Midnight Runners as a potentially similar, not quite the same kind of thing. So it's good as an album. It's mostly not deep. It works best when they're playing in the fast mode. They've got some slightly slower songs, which are less strong to my mind. They feel a bit laboured. Apart from the people get ready when they go a cappella, and I think it's probably off their other album. They did an a cappella version of Caravan of Love, which was really, really good and went down hugely well. They have an air of being real people at a time when musical products were dominating, and so I get why they were popular, and I understand this. And it was a mildly enjoyable way to spend however long the album is. So that's what I think of this album. I'd love for you to tell me what you think of this album, especially if you got fond memories of it. I know there would be people who have some very fond memories of this album. Please do share with me by leaving comments. But that's it from me for now.
There's a train coming somewhere down the track. The people that are ready better step on back. This train has been running since the time began. It's running on the